Hello, fifth grade. You are working on a science activity today that has you doing some work with fracture rates. This study was done in Canada, and they looked at men and women over the age of 65. You can tell because all your data is in 65 years and older. And they looked at people of that age and the number of hip fractures they got. And they did this over a 10-year period. So you can see that the women, you're looking at the women chart, between 65 and 69, had 347 fractures in that 10-year period. So the person years is, if you take the number of people that were in the study, say there were 50 women in the study, you would multiply them by the 10 years that they were in the study. So that would be 500 person years. So the person years is data they've already given you. It's the number of people in the study times that 10 years. So for you, you are going to do the rate per thousand. And in order to do the rate per thousand, the directions say you have to divide the number of fractures, that's in the red column, by the person years with the decimal in there. You certainly use a calculator to do that. And then you're going to round to the nearest tenth. So when I divided 347 by 195.647, I rounded that to about 1.8 fractures per thousand people. You are going to finish this column by taking this next number, 546, divide by the person years, and round. So once you go through all of the women, you go down to the chart and you do the same for the men. You take the number of fractures, divide by the person years, and then put that number in here, rounded to the 10th place. Then you go to your second document here, which is figuring fracture rates for graphing. And if you double click on the graph, it'll open up in a draw document for you. And it probably would be helpful to split your screen so you have your data on one side and you have your graph on the other side. So if I go ahead and pull my data out here and I make the screen a little bit smaller, I can look at that. At the same time, I come over here and make this screen a little smaller. And that way maybe I can work on both at the same time. So here's my graph. And if I go down here, I'm going to use my scribble tool. I have to click this select line tool, and I probably have to go to the scribble tool. And I would go to my first age group, and if it's 1.8, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to make a squiggle at 1.8. So you're going to go ahead and do all your graphing. I'm just going to graph as if it were real data. Obviously it's not, because I didn't do my division yet. And then I can use maybe the line tool to, to connect those. I'm just going to use a plain, well, I'll use the scribble tool again. And I can hopefully, I didn't get the scribble tool. I can, hope you'll do better than me. Maybe I'll use the line tool and I can connect dot by dot by dot until I get my graph. And then I can close that graph and there it is. So you may do just one of the two. You do not have to do both men and both women, but there are some questions at the bottom where you should be able to, even if you don't graph both, if you really want to be really good, you could graph both on the same graph and just change the line color for the men or the women, which would be really neat because it would make it way easier for you to answer these questions. So you're looking, if you look at the data, you're going to answer these in full sentences. So there's your your science assignment. You have 2 days to do this. So I assign it on Wednesday and it's also repeat for Thursday. So you have 2 days to finish it. It doesn't have to be done until Thursday. So good luck and tell me what you find out about fractures.